Here we go. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. We are back. We are live. We're going to do super chats, but we're going to talk about the first Fed rate cut of 2025. One moment. They cut the interest rates for the very first time this year. This is huge. Pretty huge news, man. It's not as huge as my wang. My wang's not very huge. But we're back. We're ready. So what do you guys think? You guys stoked? Got to set up monetization on this, get some tags in there. We're ready to roll. It's good to see everybody. It's good to get back in here. We're going to put a couple little notices in the chat. Do our thing here. One more moment, folks. Sorry about that. I'm having a little bit of a tough one. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Today's not necessarily my day. Give me a few moments, though. Just getting the chat set up. And I fell earlier while doing a DoorDash. While doing a DoorDash order. You'd think that I'd be able to stand up on my feet properly, but clearly I can't. I'm a little bit depressed about that. Like, things have been going right for the most part, but it's not much of a setback. I ended up using alcohol wipes on my knee and my arms. I'm just I think I'm just upset that it happened. 'Cause normally I'm pretty good on my feet, man. Even when I play basketball, I never fall over. But for some reason, I misjudged the ground and I just fell. Trying to think of all those songs where it was like, even the best fall down sometimes, even the wrong words seem to. Anyway, no, what happened was, my boy Nate Dogg, yeah, it was weird. So I was doing, and I'm fine ultimately, but I had like a mental breakdown. I mean, like I still was able to deliver the food. Luckily, the food, like none of the drinks spilled in the bag, which was crazy. It's like one of those Burger King orders, but. Yeah, I was able to get back up pretty quickly, but man, my knees were bloody. Well, one of my knees was bloody. So I kind of bloodied this part. I wiped it all up with I have a first aid kit, so I'm good. Antiseptic wipes and stuff. But it's just depressing, because like I've been on a roll, and sometimes I can't remember the last time I tripped in my own feet. But it was partially my fault. I was holding my phone in my hand. I was holding the delivery bag. I misjudged the sidewalk a little bit as I was walking up it. And I put my foot in the grass a little bit. And then, boom, fell right over. But actually, the knee's not as bad as I thought it was. It looked a lot worse. So I ended up wiping everything down with alcohol wipes and stuff. So ultimately, I'm good. It was just depressing. To me, it just, as somebody who never falls, who never trips up on his own feet, I just don't. It's just something that never happens. And when it does, it's just like, what? I made the delivery, obviously. I finished it up. Luckily, I had the person take a look in the order real quick. The person that was getting delivery. They looked into the order and they're like, "Oh, everything's fine." But they were really understanding. They're really super understanding. I was just super transparent with them. I was like, "Hey, I don't know if any drinks spilled in there. I was walking with the deliveries in the bag, and I just want to make sure all is well. Are you able to check it?" He was super cool about it too. Really awesome. He ended up checking it. So the order was good, but I thought my phone might have got a little effed too, because when I fell, my phone had slipped out of my hand upon impact, but it was still in my hand when my arm hit the ground. So honestly, it just kind of slid on the sidewalk a little bit. So luckily, no, at least I don't think there was any harm. Yeah, I don't see any scratches on it. Yeah. No, I figure I'm good though. No, but thank you, Mr. Nate Doug. But yeah, don't worry, man. I made sure that I used antiseptic wipes and alcohol wipes. I pretty much no. First off, luckily the only part of my body that was bloodied were basically my arms and my legs. So the food was in the delivery bag. So the food was safe no matter what. I'm very, very cautious about how I do things. Yeah, I definitely kind of effed myself up a little bit though. It was just weird, like, and the old saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's a true statement, by the way. And the older I get, damn, like I know this sounds like old man talk to talk about like, falling over and being a dummy, but yeah, it surprisingly hurt. Like, it didn't help that luckily it was the last delivery I was gonna do for the day, so that was the best part about it. But yeah, ultimately, like, I'm doing really well on YouTube and I've been doing vertical live streams and making a good amount of super chats, thank goodness. But so like I'm not like hurting for money, thank God. But Nate Dog says accidentally the onion rings. Oh my God. But no, I did have a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I had a mental breakdown because like I've just been really stressed out. Just because I mean, it's been about what, a week, a little over a week since I got fired from my job, and and like I had a mental breakdown when I got home. I didn't have a mental breakdown in front of like the person I was delivering to. I would not do that. Like, I still remain professional to the very end. But like when I got home, man, I was like, I had like a mental breakdown, dude, because I was just like, God damn it. Like I can still walk, nothing's wrong with me, but it was definitely, it was not one of my finer moments. I'll just put it that way. But I actually do want to give, because a buddy of mine, Mr. Nathan, already knows about this, and none of you guys know who this guy is, but he, I don't know even what happened, but he used to work with me back in the FCR days. He actually worked with me and all of us. We all knew him, and I found out today he passed away. So honestly, like that blows my mind, man. Because I remember just how he was always such a kind dude. That's the thing, man. And I think I always mispronounce his name, but it's Lorne. Lorne is the way his name was said. Sometimes I would confuse it back in the day, but he was really cool. Like, he was really such a sweet dude. So I don't like it when, I hate it when kind people pass away too early. And he was one of those dudes, and I know none of you guys in the chat know him, but if you can, definitely, I'm not really a religious person by any means, but put something out there to the universe, pray to God, whatever you guys do out there, and hope that his family's at least doing all right. I know they're probably not, obviously, but that they at least are able to do all right and feel hopefully some form of peace as soon as possible. Anyway, just wanted to say that at least. But yeah, but back to the show. I'm a little weirded out by that news, to be honest. So he was a sweetheart. He's a real sweetheart, dude. I didn't know him very well, obviously. I talked to him like if I saw him on break. But sweet dude. Just kind dude. I don't know, he always seems super relaxed. And we're working at a call center, for God's sake, so some people were really on edge. I mean, I don't know, maybe he was, I think he smoked a little bit of weed, though. Probably helped him out. Helps a lot of people out. I wish I could smoke weed, to be honest. It would probably help me out a little bit, but anyway. Let's see, my boy Nobody says, sup, what news? Just a former coworker passed away. I found out not too long ago, actually, via text message. I didn't really know him super well. He used to work with us back at the old FCR building, and so it was just kind of weird to hear that news. I might be having a little bit of having so much trouble today. But I definitely kind of effed myself up a little earlier, so I'm not having the best of times right now. But yeah, I just feel worse for his family, man, just because, like I said, he's a gentle soul. He had a good aura about him, too. Even when he was having a bad day, you know, you could tell he was a gentleman and a gentleman. A gentleman and a gentleman. That's what I remember him as. He's just a kind dude. Yeah. I don't know exactly what happened to him. I just know he passed away, and that sucks. But it's okay, though. I mean, nobody except for my boy Nate Dogg and I.
Dan, you're very sexy.
No. So we got, thank you, David, for the subscription. I appreciate it, brother. Nobody says, do you ever raid people? What do you mean? What, raid? Are you talking about like in a video game? Or are you talking about like raiding another live channel or something? That one frog girl says, hi, what's up? Hello, frog girl. Hello. But, Mr. Nobody, what are you talking about, man? Raiding people. Raiding another channel. Nah, I've never really done that. Not really up my alley. I think more people like to raid my channel than anything. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to raid a live stream a little bit. Kemoy Chapman says, what up, pimp? What's up, dude? My man. I just got called a pimp. That doesn't happen all the time. I'm typically called simp. Everybody think I'm a simp. I'm a simp. Why doesn't anybody call me a pimp? I'm a pimp. I swear I'm a pimp. 'Cause I swears it, man. I know I am. I'm a pimp. Noah says you're not a Garza. What do you mean by that? So there's another Garza here. I'll tell you what, Noah. Let me tell you something. I'm the greatest white Mexican you'll ever meet. See, I'm all sorts of things, man. I'm a mixture of German. I'm a mixture of Latino. I am Latino. Don't you know? Don't you think? It's like rain, yeah, on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's a good advice that you just didn't take. And whoever thought? Oh man. But yeah, no, I am the real Garza. I am at. By the way, you want to know why I'm the real Garza? My YouTube alias says at real Garza. I think that's proof enough that I'm the realest Garza out of all the Garzas. It is you who has to prove that you're the real Garza. Is your alias on YouTube at real Garza? I don't know. But I'll tell you this. You gotta be a simp or you gotta be a pimp, but you can't be both. You can only be one. All right? But my boy at Nobody says, and Nobody Has Spoken says, yeah, I am. I am Latino. I like burritos. Oh, yeah. I am Latino. And because I'm Latino, I think I deserve super chats. I will do anything to persuade people to give me super chats. I'll be like, because I think people should feel guilty, they should give me a super chat. If you suffer from any form of white guilt, give me a super chat. Nah, don't worry, Mr. Nobody. I think what's gonna happen is, I think what's gonna happen is you'll be able to. Oh, I don't know. You'll find yourself a gal. What you need to do, man, is I think, because I know you can sing, Jordan. Nobody. I know you can sing. I think you should do some karaoke and meet some gals at karaoke because you got a good voice, brother. I know you do. And dude, honestly, just don't sing gay bar. Actually, fun fact, I sang the song Gay Bar at karaoke, and that was really the first true exposure that my now girlfriend had of me at the time. I was very drunk, and I was singing Gay Bar and doing inappropriate things with the microphone. So, yeah, just find yourself a girl that has similar interests to you. That's really just about it. My girlfriend loves music. I love music. So it's just finding some similar base interests that you can kind of relate to, and then just kind of, after that you can just be kind of different than each other. Just be as transparent as you can be, brother. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel got taken off the air? That's crazy. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel kind of blows, but, that doesn't surprise me, though. Dude, his ratings have been in the tank for a long time. Oh, let's see. But yeah, let me get on my notepad real quick. I'm gonna be probably streaming throughout the night, just because I really enjoy streaming. Make sure that you guys give Daddy, I should say Zaddy, a super chat if you can. More super chats we get, the better. In fact, I'm gonna set a super chat goal just to annoy everybody. We're gonna try to have a goal of 15 super chats. I call them simper chats because I need you guys to simp if he thinks I'm a pimp. All right, we're setting a few super chat goals. We're going to try to get 15 super chats in the next hour. All right. Now, if you guys want your, if a lot of you guys want your pressing questions answered, preferably a super chat. I get to super chats first, just saying. It's overrated, just get another drink and watch me come undone. I've got BDE, dude. No, actually, I measure butt to tip, dude. Don't worry, nobody. Just to let you know, there are friends of the show that first off, not only friends of the show, just friends in general. Friends and friends of the show get to skip the line. You guys don't have to give super chats. You guys have already paid the price by being my friend. Don't even sweat it, nobody. So, like, I'll give you an example. You know how, like, there's a VIP list? My VIP list goes like this. So we got my boy Nobody. We got my boy Nate Dogg. Got my boy White Eagle. Tim Smith is my Canadian VIP. So there's a list. I have a list of VIPs. If I see them in the chat, they skip the line. I've known them for a long time. I love them. I love their danguses. I don't want to put their danguses in my mouth. I just love their danguses. I appreciate the dangus, all right? I don't think you guys get that I appreciate the dangus. All right. But I do realize the harder I work, the luckier I get. So that's actually one of my favorite quotes. The harder I work, the luckier I get. So I've been really taking the time to think about how I'm going to do this show. And I've been experimenting, for sure. I experiment with how I'm going to do this show all the time. That works. But yes, if you're a friend or a friend of the show, I consider if you're a friend, you're already a friend of the show. So if you're a friend of the show, you're already a friend. So it's a duality. You're also by default a brony brother, so that means by watching this channel, does that make you a furry? Even I'm not really a furry. I pretend to be a brony. But because I talk about brony brothers too much, does that turn you guys into furries? That's the question. I hope it does. Wait, wait, Carl. Don't tell me you want me to take a shower. Or no, I don't know. I'd probably get banned from YouTube if I did a shower one, even if I had all my clothes on in the shower. Well, that would be an interesting live, to take a shower or take a bath with all my clothes on, one or the other. Probably. Give me one moment, though. I actually realized I left my my brassiers. I left my bra in the car. No, actually, I left my water bottle in the car, and I want to finish up the water in there. No, I'm not. I mean, I could do a live video where I teach people how to shower. Like, I could just I could have shorts on. I could have swimming shorts on. That'd probably be a good idea. I could take a shower, show you guys how my shower routine, what I use. That might be fun. Carl, I think you want that. Don't lie, Carl. Carl, I think you're using reverse psychology, because you started off by saying, I hope you're not thinking of a shower scene. And now you're saying, no, please don't. I think you put it out there because you knew I would take the bait. You knew it. You know I will take the bait. Okay? I can't help myself. I take the bait a lot. I realize that we are 27 minutes into this, and we've barely talked about the Fed cutting the interest rates. Holy crap. Started with me talking about my dumbass. All right. So, even though I don't trust CNN for the life of me, I'm going to go to CNN. Okay, they opted for a quarter-point cut this time around, matching expectations on Wall Street. Yep, stocks initially moved higher on the news before falling into the red across all three major indexes. Interesting. I was kind of keeping a little bit of an eye on it. Here's my predictions, man. I think Bitcoin is going to crash, because I think people realize that no matter how much money you buy, no matter how much money you borrow on the cheap to get Bitcoin, you're still basically borrowing money to get into something that is a complete Ponzi scheme and a complete gamble. It's literally, honestly, the way I look at Bitcoin is this. If I borrow money to buy Bitcoin, even if the interest rates are cheap, I am taking a huge risk, because one day Bitcoin will be on a bull run. The next day it could be diving low, down 10%. It can go down to 20% or even worse. All it depends on is will there be a sell-off? Now, I do want to go over a couple things here. Since the Fed did cut the interest rates, and there's more projection, there's going to be more cuts this year. Mortgage rates have slid towards 6.25% lately. This Q debates on risk assets, yield curve, and housing affordability. That's how it's working. So my take on it is there a growth versus inflation trade-off? Like, who benefits? Like, home builders, REITs, which sectors lag in easing cycles? So I will say this, for the real estate investment trust, I think the value of those are going to go up, mainly because people love real estate investment trust. People love real estate. And to be honest, I think REITs have been the most overlooked sector by most.
Damn, you're
So it
very
is something to
sexy.
keep in mind. Kimoy Chapman, thank you so very much for the $2 donation. I really appreciate it. So Kimoy says, let's take a look at what you said, brother. Rates cut because big government knows economy is going bad. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, and here's the thing, man. When money's cheap, you know what people do with cheap money? They borrow as much as they can at a low interest rate, and then they throw it into some sort of asset, whether it's a productive asset like stocks or REITs. Well, REITs are stocks, but whatever. Or just standard real estate, you name it, or gold. It doesn't matter. People figure out something. What happens typically is people borrow money at the cheapest rates they can, so that way they can take that borrowed money and invest it accordingly. Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't mean to yawn so much. Today's been a day. I'll be right back though, folks. Well, I'm gonna take a quick piss. Hold on. Give me a second. My boy Kimoy Chapman says lowest home purchase in decades, inflation through the roof. People can't even buy groceries comfortably. I will admit, I've been basically going to Dollar Tree and Grocery Outlet, all discount grocery places, on purpose because it's like honestly, a lot of the name brands are even too expensive. I have been itemizing even my groceries just because it's a smart thing to do. It is a smart thing to do. But I will be right back. While I take a whiz. Hold on. See, we got any other simps? Do we got a simp or do we got a pimp? Do we got a simp or do we got a pimp? Mm. Yeah, well, I've been trying to, kind of hoard up capital a little bit, making sure I've been shopping the Dollar Tree. Like, it's funny, I've been making a lot of money doing super chats, so I'm really not even that concerned about income at the moment. You'd think I would be, but the only thing that sucks about Google is you get paid monthly. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to gather as many super chats as possible, take that money I get from Google, and then have a bit of a cash cushion to lean on for. I mean, I already have a cash cushion in my checking account. If I get real desperate, I could take some of my bond ETFs and sell those, and then you know keep the money in my checking account. But thank you, Kimoy. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I do believe the government is aware of how bad everything is. Rocks, dude. What's up, dude? My brony brother. Are you a brony? Do you want to become a brony brother? Do you want to become a part of my brony brother chapter? No, but I do think Bitcoin, no matter what happens with rate cuts, I think that most investors worth their salt realize that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme with no intrinsic value and that the only best solution is to bet against Bitcoin. So my Bitcoin prediction is that Bitcoin's actually going to be in a bear market and it's going to dip pretty significantly. I don't think people really want to be holding on to phony baloney dildo money. Kimoy is saying no one is borrowing, either can't afford it or banks have tightened up the requirements to borrow. Interesting. Um, hmm. Feels like I don't know you anymore. I don't understand why you're so cold to me. With every breath, breathe, I feel there's something going on. Looks like the sun has gone. Looks like the rain is here. Maybe we tried too hard, and what we had is disappeared. We gave it the same reaction.
Damn, you're very sexy.
In between the heat and passion, this bone in this distant place, I only want to see your face. Come on, love, come on, love, and just show your face, 'cause we're giving up. Come on, love, come on, love. Release yourself, 'cause we're giving enough. What are we asking? Asking to start again. This other world we're trapped in feels like it's coming to an end. Emergency lights are flashing. I'm trying to remember the rest of the lyrics. Anyway, I do enjoy singing to random people on the internet. It's kind of fun.
Damn, you're very sexy.
Damn, you're very sexy. Kemoy Chapman donated $2. Thank you, Kemoy. I really appreciate it, bud. Let's see here. Kemoy says credit card debt and defaults at an all-time high. And I feel like I'm reading these like Chris Hansen. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC. We have a story about the debt being a little too high. We understand. Oh, no. I think the spammers are entering the chat. There's a lot of spammers coming up here. But yeah, once again, Kemoy, yeah, credit card debt and defaults, it's going to get worse. Here's the thing, man. We become a huge debtor nation. That's a big deal. So we're only prolonging the inevitable. You know, that's the way I look at it. We're prolonging the inevitable. Give me a second, you guys. I'm trying to. You guys have to give me a second. Okay. So, I mean, look, credit card debt and defaults, all-time high. Okay. It's one of those things, man. And it's bound to get worse. I don't know how it gets better. And I'm trying to think of solutions to the economic problem that we're facing. But America doesn't produce anything anymore. 1/3 of our GDP is actual like real exports, like metals and stuff like that, and oil, things of that nature. But then 2/3 of our economy, of our actual gross domestic product, is service based. I just don't see how that's a sustainable model. However, I will say this. Considering the world runs off of the Windows operating system, for example, and Apple, I mean, if you're always invested in those companies, you're never going to really go wrong. You're always going to have some protection in the tech field. Yeah, Microsoft and Apple are my two favorite tech stocks. I'm going off on a tangent here, but let's see. Let's see here. Wait, why does everybody want to deport me? What did I do? Everybody wants to deport me, it looks like, yeah. I don't know why. Here's the thing, though. I think inflation's going to rear its ugly head. The fact that they lowered interest rates by 25 basis points, this could end up being a pattern where we go down to even lower interest rates. Also, I think Jerome Powell was afraid of getting fired as the head of the Fed, you know? So he was like, well, we got no other choice. We got to lower the interest rates by 25 basis points. And that's what it ended up being. That's where we're at. I can't talk about it, but I can sing about it. All right, guys, we have 34 minutes to get 13 more super chats. I want to thank you, Kemoy Chapman, by the way. Kemoy is my boy, dude. What a stud. Now, Kemoy, you don't have to keep giving super chats. It's not a requirement by any means. You have been incredible, and you have been funding the show a little bit. There's been a lot of people funding this show, and I want to thank you. But the goal here is really to put on a show that we could do 5 to 8 hours a day. Maybe not in one stream. I don't want to do a full 8-hour stream. I want to sectionalize these streams. You know, do a 2 to 3 hour stream here, 2 to 3 hour stream there. Separate them. I got to take breaks in between anyway because, you know, I'm talking the whole time, man. I'm talking. I've got the grift of Gab. Instead of saying the gift of Gab, I've got the grift of Gab. Yeah, I mean, people are losing their jobs left and right. I don't know if everybody's able to get unemployment, that sort of thing. It's a real shit show. I will admit, the rise of AI is taking a lot of those tech jobs, and AI is taking a lot of jobs, actually. Is it a good thing at the end of the day? I don't know yet. I don't have the answers there. Just writing some notes real quick, you guys. But if you have any super chats, we have 33 more minutes. 32 more minutes to meet my goal of 15. If we can't meet that goal, I got to try, like 10 or something like that. We got to meet some goals here for these super chats. We got to simp. Oh. But yeah, the whole goal for super chats is to keep the show funded, but also to give you incentive to, speak your mind. You get to get the notoriety, basically, get the instant fame. It matters. But what are your guys' thoughts though on the 25 basis point rate cut? Like, what are your guys' opinions? And do you think super chats are contributing to the economic decline? The lack of super chats is actually killing the Garza show economy. It's about to get a whole lot bigger. Still, I'm going to take a look at some articles. I'll pull up a few articles on here real quick. And So Axios posted this about 6 hours ago, saying Fed cuts rates 0.25 points, reacting to weak job numbers. Interesting. The Federal Reserve cut its target interest rate by a quarter point Wednesday, reacting to weak job creation over the summer against the backdrop of high drama over the central bank's leadership. One of the reasons why it matters is with President Trump clamoring for cheaper money, policymakers delivered the first rate cut of the year, but new projections showed little appetite for the deeper rate cuts the president seeks. A dissent from a new Trump appointee to the Fed shows growing divides within the world's most important central bank. Driving the news, the policy-setting Federal Open Market Committee lowered the federal funds rate to a range of 4% to 4.25%, adjusting rates for the first time since December. Job gains have slowed, and the unemployment rate has edged up, but remains low. The committee said in a statement, inflation has moved up and remains somewhat elevated. So, we might be seeing some higher grocery prices. I mean, honestly, if you make money too cheap to borrow, everybody starts to borrow. I mean, there could be limits, though. Banks may not be letting entities borrow. You may have to have a certain credit score to borrow a certain amount, a certain interest rate, blah, blah, blah. So, just depends. But the big institutional investors, ones that have great credit ratings, they're obviously going to be able to borrow at a very low interest rate for the most part. So dramatic revisions in job gains suggest that the labor market is really cooling off, and it's time to take that into account in our policy, Powell said. The stock market, which rose immediately after the decision, briefly turned negative after Powell's gloomier tone about the economy. The intrigue. Stephen Moran, who was confirmed as the Fed governor Monday evening. Hold on. Oh, there we go. An evening, and is on leave of absence from his job as the top White House economist, dissented preferring a half-point rate cut. Oh, wow. Here's the thing. I don't think you should cut rates very quickly. At least you shouldn't cut them by a ton. But you shouldn't also you should not increase rates by a ton either. It's got to be a slow roll. It's got to be a slow roll. And you got to look at it on a month-by-month basis. Look, either way, money's garbage. It's not money, actually. It's currency. Currency is garbage. The U.S. dollar is not backed by anything. The rich get richer because the rich are doing something that poor people are not. The rich consistently invest. They don't get into any dumb debt. And one of the reasons most of these institutional investors are rich is because they know better. They know that the assets are more important than the cash they hold. Cash, I think holding cash is probably the most dangerous thing you can do as far as personal finance goes. Like, okay, high yield savings accounts are at least better than nothing. I'll say that. You're still not keeping up with inflation, though. So you want to make sure that you're diversified. And not financial advice by any means, but this is just the truth. You got to stay diversified. You got to do the right stuff. Make sure you guys like this video, though. The more likes we get, the better. We're trying to get more subscribers, more likes. Really trying to push this. We're trying to have the YouTube algorithm really push this out there. We're trying to get this show really on the map as much as possible. And the better we do, the better we do. So trying to just grow the channel in any way I can. So that's really the goal. What do you guys think about this basis point cut? Do you think it even matters? Do you think a 24 basis point cut even really does anything worthwhile? Oh crap. We only got 23 minutes and 40 seconds to get more super chats. So, more super chats we have, the better. We need more simps, we need more pimps. But most importantly, gotta simp. But yeah, Kemoy Chapman is saying generates more spending, I guess. Yeah. Overall, I mean, what this really does is it forces people, when money gets cheaper, it allows people to borrow money and not have to pay an arm and a leg in interest. The lower the interest rate, the better. That just means that the money's cheaper to borrow. And when money's cheap to borrow, oh man, especially when it's really cheap, you can just borrow as much as you want, put it into a diversified portfolio of stocks if you really wanted to, and then at least you'd have something to work with. Now, if there was a crash, obviously that's another thing, because then you're borrowing money. Market crashes. Usually it rebounds. That's why you should never put all the cash you borrow into the markets, but you should put the majority of it in there. That's my opinion. It's not financial advice, but that's what I would do if I borrowed a butt ton of money to invest. I use all my own money to invest, all the money that I made from work, all the money I've made from doing YouTube, stuff like that. It's usually the way I do it, at least. But yeah, man. I think, me personally, I was actually going to look at some of the investments out there. Let me see here. I was going to look at the REIT sector real quick. So, for example, some of the REITs that I have, like the VNQ, for example, it did really well earlier in the day. Like, went up quite a bit, and then it just kind of started dipping down closer to where it was before. I don't... For me personally, I think it helps swing traders. You know what I mean? If you're a swing trader and you're just borrowing money at a low interest rate and you're just looking to swing trade for a quick profit here and there, no day trading, just swing trading, that sort of thing, I think you're on the right path, to be honest. One thing I love are like dividend-based ETFs that have a lot of safe dividend companies. So if I'm buying that dividend ETF, that ETF that has companies that really pay a decent dividend, if that dips for any reason, I'm just going to buy more of it because I know it's a good ETF because it has a ton of good companies that could pay dividends. So that matters quite a bit. But yeah, I think one of the best things for me is I'm always getting into stocks. I'm getting into international stocks. And the only way, I wouldn't say the only way, but the best way for me to get international stocks is exchange-traded funds. Exchange-traded funds have been incredible. I love international ETFs with a passion. One, they're hyper-diversified. Like, seriously. And a lot of them are not extremely overvalued either. A lot of the companies within, they're more closer to the actual valuation of what the company is. Because when you're not a lot of people, not everybody invests into international companies. So a lot of the times you're able to invest in exchange traded funds that happen to have a basket full of international stocks. And it's really cool. And like I said, a lot of them are really close to their book value, which means that they're not overpriced. They're pretty decent, actually. And a lot of, by the way, international stocks don't get enough credit. A lot of these international companies pay a great dividend because they want more investors. They have the cash flow, so they just pay the dividend to their shareholders. So it's usually a win-win, in my opinion. I love having international stocks. They haven't really performed super well over time. Like they've grown. Like if you have like an international stock ETF like the VXUS, it's gone up over time. Hasn't been perfect, but it's pretty diversified though. And honestly, the dividend payouts are not that bad. So, but yeah, I love internationals. I love it. I love stocks, international stocks. Best way to get exposure to international stocks though is through index-based ETFs, big time. Sorry, I'm writing all this. I like writing this down because I like to write down my thoughts during the show. It allows me to kind of formulate things a little bit more. Uh-oh, you guys. We have 17 minutes to get 13 more super chats. Are you guys ready? Can we get 13 super chats? Now, I will do my best to answer any questions that you have, any lingering questions. It helps support the show, by the way, but it also allows me to give a more in-depth answer to any pressing questions that a lot of you guys might have. And I want to make sure I'm here to answer. So anything you guys want to throw at me, I appreciate it big time, and we're going to muster this up. But also, don't forget to like this video. The more likes we have, the better. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that like this is a good thing. I mean, personally, I think when you make money too cheap to borrow, it depends on how low the interest rates go. I mean, if we're getting close to 0% interest rates, that's a little scary. That means everybody's going to be borrowing and they're just going to be printing money ad nauseum, which honestly, the dollar is already devalued. So the best way to preserve your wealth is to actually trade whatever money you have, at least if you're, whether you're borrowing that money or whether it's your own money. Preserver of wealth is like precious metals, real estate, stocks. Seriously, stocks are incredible. And if you have a very diversified portfolio of stocks, you're good. Like, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but I'll say you're at least better off. Sorry, I'm so tired, you guys. All right, you guys, we got 14 minutes to get 13 super chats. If you guys want your pressing questions answered, make sure that you guys simp for super chats. The more super chats, the better. Also, to allow me to really answer your questions in depth. One of these times I'll have my girlfriend on the stream. She just has to be in the mood for it. She's a lot more shy than I am about this sort of stuff, but if she ever wanted to be on the show, I'd be more than happy to have her on the show. Here's the thing though, I don't necessarily want her reputation to be like at risk, because she works a more public facing job and I don't at this point. And my show gets into the weeds a little bit on controversial topics. We do like to talk about controversial stuff. But Aquarium Hobbyist says, how did you and her meet? Actually, fun fact, our first real interactions with each other were at a bar, the old Goonies. And I was singing a song called Gay Bar. And by Electric Six, it's like, yo, I want to take you to a gay bar. I want to take you to a gay bar. I want to take you to a gay bar, gay bar, gay bar. Wow. Let's start a war. But anyway, but yeah, that's her first exposure to me. But thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. I know Roadkill says no questions, just support. Thank you for the support. And also I want to support you in some sort of way, Roadkill. Is there anything you want me to shout out? I'm going to tell people by default, make sure you guys subscribe to Roadkill_808. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. He's keeping this stream alive. I appreciate it. And you don't have to give me another super chat or anything, Roadkill, but in the regular chat, if there's anything you want me to shout out, a website, another YouTube channel you like, or your own YouTube channel, any shout outs you want me to give, Roadkill, I will give them. You just send a regular chat. Doesn't have to be a super chat. I'll shout out whatever you want me to, brother. I just appreciate the support. And when people do a super chat, the really cool thing is I love trying to get people to subscribe to these people's YouTube channels. So Roadkill, I'm legitimately telling this audience, anybody out there who's watching, make sure you subscribe to Roadkill_808. Even if you don't make any content, subscribe to his channel, because maybe one day he will. So I appreciate the big time, brother. Crap. Give me a second. Love the support, dog. Oh, all right. I wanted to get that in there beforehand. All right. Love the support, dog. Really appreciate it, man. But yeah, any shout outs you want me to give you, brother, whether it's your channel, whether it's a website that you got, maybe a person in your life, I'll give a shout out to anybody. But we're almost there. We're almost to meeting that. Well, we got 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes and 53 seconds to meet the deadline of the super chats. We got 12 more super chats to go. All things considered, we could still do another hour. But the more super chats, the better. It does help quite a bit. Essentially, the more we get, the better we do. But yeah, 10 more minutes, man. We're looking at the timer. But even if you guys can't give a super chat, a subscription really does help. It keeps this stream going. It keeps it alive. Keeps it rolling. But yeah, thank you, Roadkill, again for the $5 super chat. No questions, just support. It's a pretty baller move, brother. Balla. He's a balla. All right, sorry about that. Ultra Fire, dude? Okay, dude. Heck yeah. So it looks like Ultra Fire received a gift membership. Thank you, Roadkill. I appreciate you giving a gift membership to our loyal man, Ultra Fire. Ultra Fire has been awesome, to be honest. I love it when he comes into the chat. Has he been in the chat at all today? Huh. Well, everybody give a shout out to Roadkill_808 for gifting a membership to our boy, friend of the show, Ultra Fire. So, by the way, just a quick fun fact, whenever you're a member, anything you chat in the chat, we actually do have the members chat where we acknowledge the members who are chatting in, even during our super chat hours, because we appreciate you being a member. So the more memberships we have, the better. The less we have to rely on the super chats. But the super chats do help quite a bit. So I really appreciate it, Roadkill. You're really keeping the channel on the straight and narrow. Thank you, brother. But let's talk about the 25 basis point cut. Let's see. Give me a few moments. If you guys want these questions answered, a $2 minimum super chat is required because we're still in super chat only. So the only way for me to really truly answer those questions is through a super chat. We got 6 minutes and 29 seconds to get more super chats. The more the better. Because once we hit 15 for the night, I'm able to answer pretty much every question. You're very sexy. But I will talk about the 25 basis points. So in short, a 25 basis cut really means that the central bank lowered a benchmark rate by 0.25 percentage points. So since 1 basis point is basically is the equivalent of 0.01%, if you're talking about, if we're talking about like today's Fed move, I mean, the Fed cut the federal funds target range by 0.25%. It's now at 4% instead of 4.25%. It is now 4%. So it is essentially a lower, it's a lower rate, baby. It's just money's a lot cheaper to borrow is what that essentially means. And when money's cheap to borrow, man, people who are smart with that money get into the right kind of debt. You know what I mean? And when I say the right kind of debt, the smart investor, the smart borrower is taking that money and either putting it into a bunch of real estate or a bunch of stocks or something. Anything, really. And honestly, being diversified is really the key. So if I were to borrow $100,000 at a 4% interest rate, I would be putting all of that money into a variety of different ETFs and individual stocks. The individual stocks would primarily be REITs, real estate investment trust. That would be my way to do it. Look, hold on. I have to talk to my main man. All right. Hold on. I just gotta talk to him real quick. Yeah, I know, dude. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get more super chats, brother. Yeah. It's tough. Did you drink your sparkling water today? You gotta make sure you get the super chats, bro. How else are you supposed to get that Bugatti? How are you supposed to get the Bugatti? All right, dude. Okay, I want to get the Bugatti. Okay. Can you stop with that weird British accent, brother? Nah, bruv. Gotta get the Bugatti, and you gotta drink your sparkling water. So get back to work and then start begging for more super chats. All right, bro. Okay. Sorry, I had to talk to my executive producer. My acting is so terrible. I have the worst. I deserve an Oscar for the worst acting of all time. Let's see. How is this cringy? If you give me a super chat and explain how this is cringy, I might understand a little bit better. Thank you, Roadkill. I appreciate you, bro. Uh-oh. We got 2 minutes and 20 seconds before the Bugatti god. My producer might get mad. I can't say who my producer is, but he likes to say Bugatti and water a lot. He's a kickboxer. So we got 1 minute and 54 seconds to get all the super chats we can. I'm afraid, not too afraid. I'm not really afraid of my producer. We're pretty much like, so I'm like Steven Seagal when it comes to Aikido. I fake it till I make it. So I have faith that my Aikido moves against my fake producer that doesn't really exist. I feel like I could use those Aikido moves to my advantage. Crap, we got 1 minute and 20 seconds. I don't know if we can make this 1 minute and 18. Oh, no. We need 12 super chats in almost under a minute. We're not going to do it, dude. I'm going to have to use my Aikido moves against my kickboxing My fake kickboxing executive producer. He's going to tell me that I won't be able to buy a Bugatti. Is what he's going to tell me. You guys don't understand. My fake ass executive producer that doesn't really exist is going to tell me that I won't be able to buy a Bugatti now. A Bugatti. I'm so screwed, you guys. I'm so screwed. How else am I supposed to get a Bugatti now? All right, well, I guess we got 26 seconds. Ain't no Bugatti for me. Well, I want to thank you, Kimoy, and I also want to thank you, Roadkill_808, for the contributions in the chat. Really, really appreciate it. Helps out the channel a lot. We didn't. Wow, we didn't actually get what we needed. Okay. We got to start another goal. This time we're only doing 10 chats. All right, we got another goal set. So, got 10 this time. Cuffs off, everybody cuffs off. Sleep all day and you smoke all night. Now, if you guys want me to look into like a particular stock, give me the ticker symbol in the super chat. And if you have any questions about it, like I'll try my best to answer. I would let you know if I would buy it or not buy it. For the most part, there's a lot. If you want me to critique it, I'm not the best at stock analysis. I have a very basic formula for figuring out if a company is decent, and usually it's just like, does it have real cash flow? How expensive is it to operate the business as a whole? I look at some basic things on the sheets, on the balance sheets. And if they have a lot of debt, that's a bit of a red flag. So I want to make sure that the company has proven cash flows, has a good business model. There's other factors than just reading the balance sheet. You got to see like what products do they have. Is this something that's going to be? Is this going to be a company that's going to be around for a long time, or is it going to fade because the products they sell are more of a fad than anything, that sort of thing? So I do enjoy looking at different stocks and giving my best take that I can, doing some sort of analysis on it. It's not perfect, but if you got a question, I'll try my best to answer. I can't guarantee, though, that I will have the answers that you crave, but I will do my best. So I'm kind of curious how many of, and I don't condone this by any means, but I'm kind of curious How many of you brony brothers out there are gonna like buy Bitcoin? Like, I don't know if there's any institutional investors or anybody that's a big name that borrows money, but like, are you gonna pull a Michael Saylor and just buy a bunch of Bitcoin? Because I think that's what's gonna happen. I think a bunch of dummies like Michael Saylor, a bunch of these dum dums are gonna go and buy tons of Bitcoin like fools, because crypto is grifto, by the way. Fun fact. It's grifter currency, and typically 9 times out of 10, it appears to be used by certain types of traffickers. And we all know what those people are. Now we're only answering super chats right now. So now there are people I'll make an exception for, like Kimoy or Roadkill, that sort of thing. But if you're new here, if you're new to this channel, you know, if you are a simp, then you are a pimp. If you are a simp, then you might be a pimp. I don't really know. Why do you act like a hoe? I don't really know. Get away from me, yo. Get away from me, yo. Oh. Because everybody acting like a dang dirty hoe. But yeah, make sure you guys send a super chat, and I'll pin, highlight your message like it's the cure for scrolling. I'll read it too. I don't know what some of you people are saying in the chat, but I'm not liking it. Why don't just some guy, why don't you put that in the form of a super chat, please? So overall, let's see. It is crazy that this is the first rate cut they've done all year, and we're already pretty much towards the end of the year. A 25 basis point cut, so it's a 0.25% cut basically. Oh, it makes money on the whole cheaper to borrow, really is what it boils down to. And when money's not expensive to borrow, more people start borrowing money. And they'll borrow a lot of it. And they tend to invest in things like stocks, or not really bonds as far as I know, but some people might, just as kind of a cushion. And then they also invest in things like maybe gold or silver, that sort of thing. They stay diversified is what I'm saying. And then real estate in general. But man, if you were to give me money to borrow, I would definitely be spreading out that money. And if it was at a low enough interest rate, for sure, I would spread out that money into a variety of different exchange traded funds because I firmly believe that exchange traded funds that are index based, and when I say index based, it means they just buy and hold, and then they kind of rebalance the portfolio at the end of the year. But honestly, all they do is buy and hold all the holdings within the ETF itself, and then you just have the choice of holding the ETF or swing trading part of the ETF. It's really your call at the end of the day. I think after this, though, I might have to lay down because I got to admit I'm a lot more tired than I anticipated. I might need a little caffeine. I might get might put a Barks root beer in my butt. Hold on. Actually, that might not be a bad idea. I might have to put some Barks root beer in me. Oh.
Damn, you're very sexy.
Oh crap, dude! We got roadkill in the house again. Thank you for the super chat, man. That's the 4th of the night. All right, let's see what our boy said. Roadkill 808 says, hold on. Says, question: do you or anyone in chat believe in Sasquatch? Real talk. I'm looking into real estate. My collectibles are boring me. So to answer your first, I'll answer it in a chat real quick. Hold on. Tim Smith says, in my state, we have a variation called the Sam Squatch. So, I think most evidence that is out there about my boy Sass is fake as hell. And then looking at real estate, collectibles tend to lack intrinsic value or lack real world utility. All right, I'm actually just gonna post that whole. So yeah, here's the thing. Real estate is fantastic. I prefer REITs. Also, I'm just going to put this in the chat. I prefer REITs, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trusts, over owning the actual real estate myself. Let me elaborate on this. So one of the reasons I love REITs is it. So I'll give you an example. So I own a ton of different real estate investment trusts, whether it's medical properties, whether it's data centers, whether it's storage facilities, for God's sakes. But what I do is I own companies that own these pieces of real estate. And what happens is they lease out the real estate to people. It saves me so much time having REITs because I do believe my time to some degree is precious and I like to use it wisely. So I've been putting a lot of my time into my media company, the show, basically. And I've been really putting a lot of thought into it, even though it doesn't seem like I always am. But I've been wanting to do more live videos, almost like a live radio show. You know how back in the day on AM radio, I know for anybody I'm sounding like an old man right now. Yes, I used to listen to the AM radio when I was a kid. I used to listen to Phil Hendry. Brilliant, by the way. If you guys get bored, look up Phil Hendry. I'm trying to bring that format of like 3-hour talk shows back. You know what I mean? Where it's just like you're talking about the news of the day, you're talking about some of the feelings that you have, or just anything. But yeah, I do prefer REITs, which are real estate investment trusts, is what that stands for, over owning the actual real estate myself. That is me personally. But as far as Sasquatch goes, I think that Sasquatch is fake. I know. Blasphemy. Just some guy. If you want your regular chat read, it's got to be a super chat, bro. Tim Smith, though, does say, in my state, we have a variation called Sam Squatch. Yep, we read that already. Yep. Tim is the GOAT, by the way. Tim is the Canadian man. He does get a free pass. Any question he has in the chat, I read by default because he is the original. He's the OG. He's a VIP. Oh, and also any channel member, by the way. I will read your chat if you're a channel member, straight up. But Roadkill 808, I want to say thank you for that super chat. I hope I answered your question in some way. Roadkill _808 also says, I dig your show, Mike. Do you have a Rumble channel? I do have a Rumble channel. It's just rumble.com/Michael Garza. The only problem is I never post to the Rumble channel. I am thinking about changing that a little bit, though, but honestly, I do so well on YouTube. And I do okay on the podcast. I may have to upload a few videos to the podcast now that I think about it. I've really neglected the podcast for sure. But yeah, YouTube has been my main go-to. I just figure I've done so well. I put a lot of energy into it. And also YouTube is the second largest search engine out there, so it's a big deal. Michael Donaldson says, how's it, Garza? Doing pretty good, Mr. Donaldson. Kind of effed myself up pretty bad while I was doing a DoorDash delivery earlier. I fell, which was really embarrassing, but I was able to complete the delivery, thank goodness. And none of the drinks spilled, which was shocking, in the bag. But yeah, I really scraped up my knees pretty hard. I scraped up the side of my arm pretty bad. It's been so long since I've tripped over my own 2 feet. Like, that's the weirdest part about this, man. But yeah, thank you, dude. Roadkill, I'm glad you dig the show. Do you have a Rumble channel? In fact, let's take a look at Roadkill's channel. I'm going to take a quick look at it real fast. Well, it's not letting me view his channel. Hold on. What the? Well, my man has a playlist. So my man Roadkill has a playlist, but no, like, that's okay. Do you got a Rumble channel, Roadkill? If you do, that's pretty sick. Michael Donaldson, man. I know some of the trolls get pretty bad on here, man. I understand if some people end up wanting to leave. Sometimes these trolls can be a little too much to handle. But thank you, Roadkill. I appreciate the compliment. I definitely wanted to bring back that style of you know what I mean, that style of the AM radio talk show where the host would go for 3 hours and maybe take phone calls, but instead of taking phone calls, I'm basically taking super chats. That's really how it rolls. It's a talk show. It's like an AM radio talk show. I'm taking that format and bringing it to the vertical lives. I figure it works so well. And I wanted to kind of make it more personalized, like I really am talking to you as if we're sitting across the table from one another. I want to even let you know I'm eating my slop right now. Hold on, I'm going to eat. While I'm waiting for super chats, I'm going to eat some of my slop. It's burger and rice. I love it. Oh man, Mr. Mucus. Mr. Mucus. Tim Smith says, I'm currently crushing an entire box of Yoplait mango tubes. Oh my god. That sounds kind of good. Yoplait mega. Yoplait mega tubes. No, mango tubes. That sounds pretty good, man. Michael Donaldson says, give Garza your money. Absolutely. You know, I will say on this channel, if you have any pressing questions that you want me to try my best to answer, if you give a super chat, I will take my time to try to answer that question as accurately as possible.
Damn, you're very sexy.
Oh, snap, dude. Thank you for Roadkill again, dude. Roadkill is like... Dude, Roadkill, I feel like a sugar baby sometimes, dude. I'm going to let Roadkill know that you make me feel so young and fresh. Thank you, dog. And I appreciate the extra cash for the stash. Thank you, Roadkill. I appreciate it. Now, just to let everybody know, I will say this. Even though I do say I answer super chats only under certain circumstances, if you've already super chatted and you add to the conversation without a super chat, that's okay too. So, for example, Roadkill can put a regular chat on here. Totally fine, by the way. Totally fine. I'll answer that question. Because Roadkill's contributed so much to this. And I want to thank you, brother. It blows my mind, man. Thank you. Another shout out to Keemway. Thank you, Keemway. Hold on. I need to look. So there's a soundbite I need to look for. Tim Smith says, I'm going to keep that on coffee money. So, but Tim Smith says, Jeremy, I think you mean Halloween. Let's see. Oh my God. And then Michael Donaldson says, why are leftists so ignorant? I don't know, man. I think it's the ethos. I think the reason that the left tends to be so ignorant is because they tend to live in their own bubble. They are fed, in my opinion, false information quite frequently through mainstream media. And I think that people who still lean left still think that CNN or MSNBC are actually looking out for your best interest. They want ratings. And you know what sells boner cream is fear. Fear sells boner cream. Now, by the way, I am looking for I'm looking for a few Chris Hansen clips. Some sound like laugh out loud. Trying to find those. Let's see. Do you think you mean Halloween? Kamala would have raised taxes on super chats. Yeah, dude. We got saved, brother. We got saved. But yeah, we still don't know why leftists are ignorant. I think it's just maybe communism, maybe communists and socialists just become lazier with their thinking. That's the problem. Is that when I've noticed this with communists and socialists who are like really hardcore. Not everybody's this way. Some people are, though. Some of them are. When they can't critically think or really debate what you're saying, they call you stupid, right? And that's ridiculous. They call you stupid or full of shit. I don't understand that. So I don't know. I just find it's best not to discuss anything with leftists because they're just you can't argue with stupid. So the best thing to do is avoid arguing with stupid. Now, granted, not all leftists are the same. Not all leftists are dumb. I'm not going to blanket statement that. I'm just saying when we're talking about like the leftists who believe in the woke stuff, those are the type of leftists I'm talking about. The ones that you feel like they're not living in a real reality at all. So that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. Very good. Great question, though, man. Thank you. I'm eating rice and burger. You guys want some ASMR? I could do ASMR if you guys want. Make you feel better. Would that make you guys feel better? I don't know. This is great, though, man. I want to thank everybody who's popping in. Everybody's being a beautiful simp. We got a simp. We got a simp and we got a pimp. All right. Yeah. Really good. Well, we're on the right path. Some of these chats are pretty funny, though. They're fun to eat and read chats. I really do enjoy it. I really do. I like to... Oh, yeah, that's right. I was looking up Chris Hansen's soundboard. Okay. No way.
Actually, I find it quite attractive.
I'm going to respond to every chat that comes in with a Chris Hansen soundbite. I think would be the most appropriate thing.
I like rape.
Oh, whoa, okay. Let's see. Mr. Donaldson says, oh my God. Later, Garza. Have a great night. I'm out. Thank you, Mr. Donaldson. Let's see.
Do you shave down there? Do you shave down there?
Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC. I'm your host. We catch predators. Oh,
Laugh out loud.
yes, this is the one I was looking for.
Laugh out loud. Laugh out loud.
That's what I'm going to use as the Yes, that's the one I gotta download. Without a doubt, dude. Did I download it? Okay, did I download it? Brony Brothers. I don't know if I downloaded this or not. Laugh out loud. Did I get free stuff? Like, what did I get?
You can play with my penis.
Oh my god. This is great, dude. I need to start using soundboards like this. Incredible.
Laugh out loud.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Dude, I'm so ready. Laugh out loud. I'm gonna put this on the desktop, actually. This deserves to be on the desktop at this point. All right, so anytime you guys give a super chat, you guys are gonna hear Chris Hansen say laugh out loud.
Do you like anal? What bra size do you wear? You like doggy?
Yeah. Chris Hansen's putting up some valid points, just saying. And I think everybody hating on Mr. Hansen right now is in the wrong. We all know that Chris Hansen is the GOAT. I'm trying to adjust the super chat sound to make it to where he says laugh out loud. And then we're going to go over the super chats here in just a second.
Do we need rubbers? Do they hurt?
I could just, honestly, this entire show could be Chris Hansen soundboard. And that's how I'm going to respond to chats at this point. I'm just going to respond to chats using Chris Hansen, Dayline ABC. Laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud.
Sick, dude. All right, let's do a test.
Laugh out loud.
Did that double? Hold on. I feel like that doubled. Unless somebody, like, subscribed at the same time.
Laugh out loud.
Is it playing it twice? Why is it playing it twice? Hold on. Do I have, like, two things going on at once? Unless I got, like, two event lists. I'm not aware of. Oh, maybe the alert box. Oh. Does it also change on the alert box? Okay. Oh, so it's doubling? Let me try that again. Like, oh. Then what?
Laugh out loud.
Okay, now it's just doing the regular. Okay, laugh out loud. Okay, and I want to say thank you to Kimoy and Roadkill 808 on this one. Thank you. Oh yeah, and Ultra Fire is now officially a. This is crazy. Is officially a channel member because he was gifted a membership earlier. So Ultra Fire says whole lot of simps. Up in here. Woo. Exactly, because he got gifted a membership by our man Roadkill _ 808 gave you the greatest gift of all, the gift of my disgusting laughter. Oh man, but yeah, that you got the membership status, dude. You're in the elite. You're an elite. You don't have to keep it, obviously. Well, I think he might have bought you a whole year, maybe. I don't know. If he bought you a whole year's membership, it's only like 99 cents a month, so it only technically costs $12 for a full year. I was actually hoping to put out yearly memberships, though. I think that'd be fun. That's what I think personally. I think it'd be cool. Honestly, if I did a yearly membership, though, it'd be like probably like a $10 per year, $8 per year.
I want to wrestle you so freaking bad.
Ultra Fire says 808 Roadkill. I'm from Hawaii too. Thanks, bro. Oh, Kimoy Chapman is a new member. Thank you, Kimoy. So, by the way, any members who chat in, even during the super chat hours, by the way, end up getting a pass. And what I mean is, when I say pass, what I'm really saying is they don't have to give a super chat at all. Now, if you're a longtime friend of the show, we'll make exceptions. Like Tim Smith is an exception. I do have a VIP list. Now, how do I change? Oh, that's right. I have to, because I want to make it to where it says laugh out loud every time. And simp for the pimp, dude. Oh my God, we have a new channel member. Kimoy Chapman is now part of the Mussy crew. If you guys want to become channel members and become part of the Mussy crew and get really recognized, you're in elite status. Because I will simp. Essentially, you become the pimp, figuratively speaking, not in reality, but it's a good analogy. Yeah. Welcome to the chat, Seagirl Hawks. We're kind of on we're on a bit of a super chat ranking, so, but simp for the pimps. We're trying to get more super chats, though. More super chats, the better. Ultrafire did say that I better be on the VIP list. I'm your day. You have been on this channel for a long time, Ultrafire. So honestly, if you've been here for a long time, I do like to make sure that I give credit what credit is due. You are, honestly, I've never actually formally made a list. But yeah, you've been here for a long time. So Ultrafire, I consider you part of the VIP squad. But you get the notoriety of being a member. That is visible. And you get that little Michael Saylor emoji. It's very sexy. But thank you, everybody, for the super chats, though. Much appreciated. The new members. That's even crazier. 2 new members. Didn't think this would ever happen, but it's happening. We got new members. Just wanna be a simp for the pimps. If you don't subscribe, you can't simp-scribe. But Ultra Fire, yeah, you are on the VIP list. You deserve to be on the VIP. You're on the ultimate list. Better not be on any Diddy list though. Preferably no Diddy list.
'Cause I want you. Your mouth, your nipples, down between your legs, too. Sometimes people just do anal sex first.
Okay.
What bra size do you wear? I'm horny for you.
I love the Chris Hansen sound bites, man. Those are the best things in the world. You're a strange animal. That's what I know. I know you're a strange animal. Follow.
Laugh out loud.
Yeah. Okay, and I could also change a little GIF. What can that GIF be? Oh my god. Oh my god. I would love it if it was Chris Hansen, but we'll use a stock meme. All right, so virtually everything should be laugh out loud, or if somebody subscribes, it'll be like, you're very sexy. So super chats get a laugh out loud, or you're very sexy. One or the other. Slap that bass moan, yeah. I will say the people that go on the chats on YouTube, it's very confusing. All right, you guys, we only got 18 more minutes to reach our simper chat goals. When I say simper, I mean just you guys got to simp. If you want to be a pimp, you got to simp. If you want to be a simp, then you gotta. No, if you want to be a pimp, then you gotta simp. You don't even know. Why? It's so good, dude. And I can be your hero, baby. And I can kiss away the pain. And I will stand by you forever. You can take my breath away. Now, we're only reading super chats at the moment. So if you guys want your questions answered, any of your pressing questions, you gotta send it in the form of a super chat. More super chats, more answers. So we're only answering super chats for the next 16 minutes and 30 seconds. We got to meet our goal. We're only 8 super chats away from meeting goal. So close. And but we'll talk a little bit more about the interest rates and stuff like that. Yeah. At the end of the day, only the simps can be pimps. Do you see what I'm saying? I beg to differ. I think people love watching me eat. I think people see a fat man like myself eat, and they're hoping that like maybe I, F myself up or, that sort of thing. But yeah. Yeah, give me a super chat. Let me know how you guys feel about my eating. Oh, you guys, all the crypto and the grifto. The grifto is going up. Are you guys wanting to become part of the Mussy Bussy Boys? Like, is this the goal? What is the end goal here? Do you guys want to be a mussy or do you want to be bussies? I'm trying to figure out. We're only answering super chats at the moment. We need 8 more super chats in 12 minutes. So we got 12 minutes to get 8 super chats. Can we do this? That is the question. I'm grateful for any super chat, by the way. I love the super chats. But I do enjoy answering questions. But if you want the most pressing questions answered, I make an exception for members. If you become a channel member for 99 cents a month, I will make exceptions. Or if you're a longtime member of the show, or longtime friend of the show, I should say, or just longtime friend. KB1, if you want that answer, KB1, if you want an answer, you got a super chat, bud. Chad, what's going on, brother? KB1, if you want your pressing questions answered, you gotta pay up. Hey, deep down, we're all brony brothers, all right? We're all brony brothers because we all love nude male horseplay on this show. That's the key. We all appreciate nude male horseplay. I think that's what we all appreciate. Amen to that, everybody. Amen in the chat. Can we get a super chat for nude male horseplay, please? Thank you, Roadkill. Night, brother. Have a good night, Brand. Yeah, you wouldn't be. Super chat isn't money. A super chat is like a regular chat, but it's on steroids. Jake, do you want to form that in a super chat? Jake, I know you want to form that in a super chat, by the way. I know you did that. Okay? LeBag. Look, Daddy needs super chats. I know you guys love me. I know you guys care. I know you love me. I know you want me. I know you care. Just shout whenever, and I'll be there. Super chats. Yes. Yes. But thank you to Kimoy Chapman for becoming a channel member. Appreciate it, G-Dog. Thank you. We're, like I said, we're only answering super chats, but I'll keep talking about the 25 basis points reduction, you know. Dude, the gold date is in the future, bro. The hell? 25. Oh, that's pretty cool. Boom. We'll see how we get this up here. Condensed. Maybe more condensed, maybe. What's up, G-Dog? Sorry, I'm caught up trying to figure out something. Trying to do like some sort of super chat mania. You know what I mean? We got 4 minutes. Trying to reach all the super chat goals. That works. Yeah, this is the content for the channel, by the way. The content is me talking about, for instance, financial topics. So in this instance, we're talking about straight up the 25 basis point cut that the Fed has put out there. So it takes it from the base level of 4.25% down to 4%. So the whole goal for me is to explain why sometimes it's okay to have money that you could borrow that's cheap, but sometimes it's not. The problem is quantitative easing is a fancy term for money printing. And that's the thing. So, T-Back, what is LAC? Production starts 2027. Wait, what is that? Have a good night, Mr. David Johnson. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. We love speaking with you, David, even though I don't even know. Okay, sorry about that, folks. So the thing is, man, with these federal rate cuts, I'm cool with it. I mean, I think it may need to happen. I like it when money's cheap because that means I just get to invest in, or at least my investments go up in value, but that's only because everybody's piling in at once and making it more expensive to get more positions in the companies that I like. One of the main reasons I invest is because I love dividends. I love being able to hold a ton of different individual stocks, a ton of different ETFs. And what makes it very fun at the end of the day is that I get to basically receive a reward for being a long-time holder of the shares of the stock. It's pretty fun, though. Daniel Roy asks, when will you be a millionaire? I don't know. Eventually. All that really matters to me, though, is that I have a consistent stream of income that's ever growing, and that it's typically through dividends, for sure. I'm a dividend investor at the end of the day. I love dividends. I think they're the best part about investing, and I just can't stop. You know, once you pop, the fun don't stop, man. But yeah, like I said, I'm a mixture. I'm a very mixed investor in the way that I do things. Um, Give me 1 second. So we're trying to reach a goal of 500 super chats. Let's do this. So Bitcoin's 52-week high. I'm kind of curious about this. Hold on. So with Bitcoin's 52-week high, it is at 124,476. Wow. Yeah, the higher Bitcoin goes, man, the more I bet against it for sure. I just think that Bitcoin is such a Ponzi scheme, and it's sad that people think it's a real investment. I think that's the thing that depresses me the most, is that people actually think that Bitcoin's a real investment. It's phony baloney dildo money. I'm sorry. It's bullcrap. Bitcoin is clickcoin, all right? And we all know it. We are all aware of it. I do own some Bitcoin because I got into it really early when I thought it was something that was kind of cool. And then I was like, the more I learned about it, I was like, this is garbage. Garbage. So I started betting against it. I haven't sold my position, but I've thought about it. I thought about just selling all my Bitcoin, putting my money where my mouth is, you know? But yeah, Bitcoin sucks, dude. Bitcoin is such a waste of freaking everything. It's a waste of space, but I do use it as a hedge because I do bet it. Like I say, I bet against Bitcoin, so I do use it as a bit of a hedge. So if it ever went to $1 million per coin, at least the unrealized gains would cover the unrealized losses, that sort of thing. Actually, I want to change this a little bit. Hold on. Scrap it. There we go. That's a little more accurate. Super Chat's read first. $19. Blah, blah, blah. Perfecto. Cool. We're trying to get to that 500 tonight. I'm back. Did you guys miss me? Sorry about the delay. Now, all you crypto bros need to know one thing. Crypto is grifto. Once again, crypto is grifto. Big deal, right? Garza, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, hell no. Sorry for the delays, everybody. Still trying to get a couple things figured out. Thanks. But here we go. We're doing the super chat challenge. We're really kicking booty. $19. I'll take it, man. Dog Eat Dog says, "You looking rough, homeboy. The F you doing?" First off, I am. I fell down earlier while I was doing a delivery. It's I'm still feeling a little depressed about it, to be honest, because it was ridiculous that I even fell to begin with, and I fell on the side of the pavement, on the sidewalk. Just, I don't know. I've been feeling like I've been at a little bit of a low. I was doing DoorDash earlier, and then I bloodied up my knees by falling over like an idiot. So it sucks. Yeah, I'm not happy about it. It's not like a sob story or anything. It's just frustrating. You know, everything else has been going right, but like I've just been stressed out a little bit. Not too stressed, but like to the point where I'm just hating life a little bit. Yeah, it's, you know, I guess I've been a little bit critical of myself lately. I've been very depressed. I feel like I've been answering to everybody else but myself. And I just decided I'm going to kind of go on a hiatus or whatever. Hiatus. It's a mixture of silence and a hiatus. I just made that word up, but I'm just not going to tell anybody what I'm doing, you know? I'm just going to do what I do. I'm going to do this show. If I'm not doing this show, I'm going to be planning out the show. If I'm not doing the planning or the show, I'm going to be doing DoorDash. And, yeah, I've got options. Luckily, I've got sources of income, so I'm not like hurting, but yeah, I don't really care anymore about societal roles. Don't give a shit about it. I've actually been making a lot of money on YouTube, shockingly. So, in a lot of ways, I'm glad I've been focusing on YouTube. I've grown the subscriber base quite a bit. So in a lot of ways, it's better that I've been focusing on the YouTube channel. I've been making money from this. It's not like I can't pay the bills. Luckily, I can, but it's been working. Make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. Sorry about that. The more people we have liking the stream, the better. We're trying to really push this out there. Trying to get the YouTube algorithm to really push the show out to everybody it can. We're going to probably end this stream here in just a second, though. I appreciate the super chats, everybody. Actual Elon Musk asks, what truly makes you happy inside? Feeling like I have a purpose. What makes me happy is knowing that I don't know anymore. I'm happy because I'm still able to be alive and be breathing and everything. That's something I've counted my blessings for that. You know, I've got a really good computer. I've got a great girlfriend. She loves me, even though I think I'm a little bit of a psycho sometimes. I can be. But yeah, no, I surprisingly I've been doing a good job on this, and better than I expected, to be honest. But it's been pretty fun. Yeah, the more I plug away, the better. So anyway, I do want to thank you guys for your time. I'm going to do another stream here in just a second. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys on the next stream.